the most data possible. And so we'll finally publish this audience, and we'll move on to dynamic retargeting. And so we've already created our website visitors top 25%. We've created our page view frequency 2 audience and our video views for Reels content. Now we'll be creating our dynamic purchase. And so how this works is you'll be hitting create. You'll be choosing a new campaign because this is going to be a catalog. And you're going to hit continue. We'll turn on our campaign template, and this will be the retargeting catalog. And we'll go ahead and move on to the ad set level, turn on our template again. And what we're going to do is we're going to deselect the shops for now, and we're just going to optimize conversions for your website. We'll be going over Facebook shops later. We'll scroll down, we'll change our budget to $5 initially to start. We'll scroll down some more, and what we're going to do is we're going to select upsell products, and we're just going to select the products that have been purchased, or all of the products, and we're going to update this time frame to 180 days, so that way we have the most amount of data possible. And so essentially what we're doing is, if you have a product that could be purchased more than once, or if you have a product that people might purchase twice, or if you have a product that people might purchase for a friend, a family member, a cousin, a sister, a brother, a mother, a father, or a student or colleague, or simply a friend from a friend, if they're willing to purchase again for any of these reasons or more, this is an audience that you would like to create because it's highly qualified, because they've already gone through the process with you before, so therefore they're comfortable. Second, you might have other products that you can sell them, which is great because if they've already purchased once, they're going to want to potentially buy other items as well from you if they found that what they received was quality. Now, this audience won't work if your product is not very good and people don't like it. This audience will not work if your product is a high ticket item and is a one-time purchase only and it's something that people would never purchase again. And this audience will not work if you don't have any purchases. So with all things considered, we can now move forward. And once we've typed in 180 days and selected our full catalog, what we're going to do is we're going to continue to scroll down here, and we're then going to move on to our ad, and this is going to be the first time that we've actually covered a specific ad. And the reason for that is because we want to make sure that this ad is set up very specific to what works in this space for the dynamic retargeting, and there's a very data-driven method here that does result in much better results than others. And so our primary text here is going to be, we appreciate you for being our loyal customer. Come back for your next order. And so we essentially want to thank them for being a loyal individual who's bought and purchased from your brand before. And then we're simply stating, come back for your next order. Now, they're going to see this ad and they might not purchase right away, but they're going to feel warm in their heart because now you're essentially appreciating them and you're just sharing with them, hey, come back for your next order when you're ready. You could come back today, you could come back tomorrow. We're not really being aggressive or forceful here. We're essentially just giving them the opportunity to potentially comment and say how much they love the product. We're also giving them the opportunity to come back and make more purchase. We're also welcoming them to the fact that, hey, we're not very cold here. We are, very friendly and do want you to shop with us some more because we truly do care about you. And we're not giving away a specific percent off because there's no need to necessarily discount our product right now, because if they've already purchased from us before, we don't really, they're probably going to purchase again if they really liked what we sold. So this allows us to sell our products at the fair value that we're charging. And so therefore, let's go ahead and add in the URL. The URL will go here. And then essentially for the headline, it'll be your product name. The description is simply going to be your price. And so now people can see the actual price. And another thing we could do that could be really creative is, one, testing instead of product price. We could test the description of the actual product. And then we could get really specific, turn off dynamic formats, and we could select Edit Creative, add catalog info. And in the catalog info, we could add price. We could even do strike through price. And we can do automatic colors so that way it adjusts with the actual product. And so we'll hit save. And now when we look at this, our price is being highlighted in these ads. And now what we can do is type in the see more URL, which is essentially going to be our website. And just to confirm on our product catalog, we're going to want to make sure that description is there. And so this is something now that our ad looks like. It's showing them the different products we have, so that way they can come back and make another purchase. Maybe they bought a pair and they want to buy a pair for their friends. There's a lot of cases that this can really work. And so we want to continue scrolling down. We're going to leave the shop now, select your domain, and we'll go ahead and build out our URL parameters for this ad. And this is probably the first time you've either come across URL parameters, or if you've already set up URL parameters before, this is going to be the best approach to do it. And the first step would be setting up your actual source dynamically, so that way it inputs the information that's as relevant as possible. Site source name means where they came from. If they purchase on Facebook, it's going to enter in FB on your UTM parameter. If they purchase from Instagram, we'll say IG. If they purchase from entrepreneur.com, it's going to put that domain URL in there. So that way you know exactly where individuals are purchasing from. And this is going to allow you to collect data over time, which means as your business gets bigger, you're going to have this data to look back on. And if you grow outside of Facebook ads and go to other platforms, you're going to know exactly what's most relevant, and you get a lot of good audience data here to save you a lot of money in the long run because you can use these learnings. Big companies collect data so that way they can be as efficient as possible and make every dollar count. The medium is essentially going to be your ad set name, so we know exactly what audience they came from, and that's also why we split out audiences as well, so that way you truly know the original source somebody came from. Campaign name will be the actual campaign name. That one's pretty simple. Your campaign content is essentially going to be your ad name. And then we're going to go ahead and add a more advanced parameter here, and we're going to type in UTM_placement because we want to know if somebody came from Instagram stories. We want to know if they came from Reels. We want to know if they came from Feed. Now you might be asking, why would we want to know those specific placements? Well, that allows us to create creative content around where we're getting the most results. Let's say we're getting a lot of purchases from Instagram placements. Well, let's create more creative that's vertical and where the text isn't necessarily so far down on the bottom of the vertical ads. So that way the Shop Now button is more visible, and that way we can get a lot more conversions, and we're using the data that is very effective and accurate here to improve our results and actually optimize our creative. That way we're not just making opinions, or we're not making, decisions of our own. We're allowing the data to really guide us here so that way we can make the proper edits and informed decisions as an advertiser. And then we'll hit apply. And now we have our dynamic purchase retargeting ad completed. And so what we can do is we could even duplicate this and run another test just with the same ad, except slightly different. Removing the actual frame here, where we take away that price. And maybe, let's see, free shipping. No, we'll just do none, save. And we'll just scroll back down here and we'll put the price back in this section. And what we'll do is we'll change this from a carousel to a single image, leaving the same text. And then we'll just do description. And the actual link here, description. Headline will be the product name. And then we can go ahead and use this as an ad as well. We might even do a slash here where we add in the price just to see how that looks. Perfect. And that looks good on these placements. Wonderful. Looks great. Wonderful. Perfect. Now we just scroll down and all of these settings have been saved previously. And now we can just turn on our template where it says single image. And then those two ads are finished. So what we ended up covering today was the advanced retargeting strategies. We covered how to create those custom retargeting audiences to test. And we also went over dynamic retargeting creatives and ads that you can launch that are highly relevant with their messaging, appreciating those loyal customers, so that way you can get more sales and get more results. And in the next module, we'll be covering lookalikes, and I will see you then.